Alright, so we're going to be looking into Decayed Asylum's first premium bot, which is a pillage bot. And what that does is acts as a pirate and pillages for you for pretty much however long you want it to. Hours or even days if you're willing to do that, of course. Here's the program, and it doesn't really look that great now, but it will when it's released. So once it's opened, you'll see a net seal page, and this is our auth system. So if you don't have an account there, you're just going to register here and continue, and then use your account details to get in here, which aren't your forum details, by the way. They're your NetSeal. This is your NetSeal account. So once you sign in, this is the GUI for the pillage bot NetSeal. So you'll see your authorization code if you have one, and if not, that redeem code button will be available. So if you have one, just redeem the code, and if it's continuous, it's lifetime, and if not, you'll see a number of how many days. Now, once you have your auth code set up and everything, you can run the program, and that just opens up the GUI and allows you to run the program pretty much without penalties. So once you get in, you'll see a lot of features, so we're going to go over those. The chat logging basically is for getting off pillagers. There's no other use for it other than that. And chat logs need to be in text format, and there'll be a guide on that in Decayed Asylum eventually. So for now, we'll just put that there, and then we'll use Pirate 1. And this is your login details for Puzzle Pirates. This is needed because if the bot disconnects, if you log out from inactivity, the bot just won't get stuck this way. And that's always good if you're running it for anywhere between 1 hour to 20 hours. So then once you go to advanced settings, you'll see the ship hierarchy, and basically what this does is this is your apply for, and the first ship is the priority. This is what it applies for every time it gets in the voyages section in the notice board. It'll apply for the first one, and for the next 7 seconds it'll look for a job offer, and if it didn't find one, it'll apply for the next one all the way until it hits a none, which is this one. So you could probably see how that'll go if you this is convenient for if you want trophies, or maybe you think long ship pillages give you more money than sloop. So you can organize it however you want. This is just the default. The mouse speed is a little different because there's 2 speed settings. And what this does is when the mouse moves in the bot, it'll pick a random speed between the 2 numbers you give. And I like 300 to 400 because it looks human and is still pretty fast. And this is just good anti-ban. So the bilge bot setting basically allows you to use the one built in or use your own, which could be Bot Supplies Poseidon, Trident, or any other bot you can find. And the credits page just shows who was all involved in the making. So now that we got all the settings done, we're ready to run the bot. So once you press start, it'll almost instantly find out where it's at. It found out that it was logged off, so it's logging in. Now, once the bot logs in, it'll be constantly checking to see where it's at. And right now, it detected that it really wasn't any. It detected that it was at home, so it's going to get to the notice board. Not really home, but on an island. So that was a little bit of a lag there, but it still did the same thing. And the reason why it clicks Ahoy tab before applying is so that it can cancel out of anything that's there. Because if somebody invited you full-time to their crew, that'll just stay on your Ahoy tab until you decline it or accept it, and this bot will decline it for you so other pillages can job you. Now once it sees it's on a ship, it'll do a random greeting, could be hi, ahoy, whatever, and then it detects what ship it's on, and then it'll find a bilge based on what ship it's on. So it obviously found out it was a sloop and navigated through and clicked this bilge. Now, if that bilge was taken, it still would have clicked it, but then it would have realized that it's not in the bilge after so long, and then clicked the other bilge. And that's specifically designed and will work on pretty much any ship I design it for. So, and it'll do that every time after a sword fight or rumble. It'll go through both stations to find one. So, I'm sure you're not interested in looking at the bilge screen all day, so we're going to stop this for now and show you some different features that are specific. So, this bot doesn't have to be started in any specific place. If it doesn't know where it's at, it's going to go home and go to the notice board and apply. But there are a lot of locations where it knows it's at. So if you start it on a ship, it's very well possible that it will navigate through. So after this loads, stops lagging. Alright. We'll go to a specific ship to show you how it does them. And that'll pretty much cover most of the features this bot includes. So we'll go to the dock. And we'll do long ship. So if you actually do happen to start a bot on an empty ship, it still is going to go find a bilge, but it's just going to sit there until it logs out, then it will log back in, go to notice board and apply, and it just will keep going. It won't get stuck. And that's just how it goes. I've included almost every failsafe to make sure that it does not get stuck for however long you want to run it, which I have topped out at over 18 hours. I leave this on every night before I go to sleep. It's just probably one of the first fully AFK bots available for this game. So I started it right here, and it detected that was on a ship, so that's why it says finding bilge. And then it detected that it was on a long ship, so it's going to navigate through. Now with the 3 bilges, this thing is a little tricky. Every time, let's say that was full. So the bot just moves the screen a little bit so it shows all 3 bilges. That way when each bilge is on the screen, it can tell which one to go to. So that's how it can search all 3 bilges. The reason I clicked back to deck every time it got on a bilge was to simulate somebody being there. Because what it does is it clicks on a bilge and then waits about maybe 4 to 6 seconds, depending on how long I thought it would take for you to get to the bilge. And then if it's not on the bilge by then, it will go to the next one. So that's what we simulated there. And that was long ship. And say it was just on an SF Rumble, and we started it here on bilge 3, it would go straight back to bilge 1. But of course, if we started it here, we'd have to find out what ship it's on and everything, which is pretty quick. So it always does them in order from the first to the second to the third. There really is no other order, which is usually fine. It really doesn't mess anything up. And that was the long ship demonstration. That's pretty much all it does, and of course it does each ship pretty much flawlessly. There's really not many additions. I mean, some of the searches need to be fixed on some limited edition sloops. And yes, this does every single limited edition sloop. So that's over 20 sloops it can just do. And of course, there will even be more ships in next updates. There'll be more. It'll be faster because there are some methods I've used that have been kind of lazy, made it a little slow. But for right now, it looks very human. Nobody's ever been able to tell that I was a bot. So, I mean, that's really good. I haven't been banned with this, using it maybe 15 hours a day. it's as good as it's going to get for a first release, but I'd suspect good updates with more ships, more anti-ban, and just anything you can even suggest. It'll be in the next updates in the next few weeks. And this is the end of the demonstration of Decayed Pillage. I hope you like